Ever wondered how the apps and websites you use daily are designed for ease of use? This, my friends, is the magic of interface design, or as we often call it, user interface design. It's all about creating digital interfaces that are not only visually appealing but also user-friendly and intuitive. The process involves understanding the user's needs, organizing information logically, focusing on aesthetic elements like layout and color, and defining how users interact with the system. It's also about ensuring accessibility for all users and responsiveness across different devices. And let's not forget the crucial step of testing the usability with real users. All these aspects come together to create an interface that facilitates smooth interaction between you and the digital world. So, how exactly do we go about designing these user interfaces? Let's dive in. The design process starts with the user. At the heart of interface design is the concept of user-centered design. This approach places the user's needs, preferences, and behaviors at the forefront of the design process. It's all about understanding who the users are, what they need, and how they behave. To gain this understanding, we conduct user research, which could involve surveys, interviews, or observations. This gives us valuable insights into the user's world, their pain points, and their needs. From this research, we create user personas. These personas are fictional representations of our users, encapsulating their demographics, behaviors, needs, and motivations. We then define user scenarios, which are hypothetical situations that describe how a user would interact with our interface. These scenarios help us to anticipate the user's actions and design an interface that caters to their needs. With a clear understanding of our users, we can then structure and organize the content within the interface. Information architecture is the blueprint of the interface. It's like the skeleton that gives structure to the body of content on your website or application. The prime role of information architecture is to define the organization and structure of this content. Imagine it as the invisible lines that guide users through the labyrinth of information. It's all about creating logical categories, easy-to-follow navigation pathways, and hierarchical structures. Think of it as designing a map for a city. The city is your content, and your information architecture is the roads, signs, and landmarks that help users navigate through it. The goal is to ensure users find what they need quickly and easily, without getting lost or frustrated. It's about making the complex simple, the chaotic orderly. And remember, a well-structured interface is not just about functionality. It's the foundation upon which you can build an aesthetically pleasing and engaging user experience. Once we have a well-structured interface, we can then focus on its visual appeal. Visual design is the art of making interfaces beautiful and engaging. It's like the coat of paint that transforms a house into a home. It includes elements such as layout, typography, color schemes, and imagery. The layout is like the blueprint of a building, setting the structure and flow of the interface. Typography is more than just choosing a font. It's about readability, hierarchy, and personality. It's the voice of your text. Color schemes set the mood of the interface. Just like how a sunny day can brighten your mood, a well-chosen color scheme can evoke positive emotions in the user. Imagery, on the other hand, attracts and holds the user's attention. It's the cherry on top that makes your interface aesthetically pleasing. But remember, the goal is not just about creating a visually appealing interface. It's about reflecting the brand identity, making a statement, and standing out from the crowd. A visually appealing interface is not enough. It also needs to be intuitive and responsive. Interaction design is about creating a smooth dialogue between the user and the interface. Picture this as a dance, where the user and the interface move in harmony, each anticipating the other's next step. It's all about defining how users interact with the interface, and this includes navigation, input methods, feedback mechanisms, and transitions. Imagine navigation as the map guiding users through the digital landscape. It needs to be intuitive and logical, helping users to reach their destination with ease and efficiency. Input methods are the tools users employ to communicate with the interface, be it typing, voice commands, or touch. These should be responsive and tailored to the user's needs and device capabilities. Feedback mechanisms are the interface's way of acknowledging user actions, like a small vibration or a visual signal. Transitions, the animated changes from one state to another, add a sense of fluidity and dynamism, enhancing the overall user experience. Of course, good interaction design is accessible to everyone. Accessibility ensures that everyone can use our interface, regardless of their abilities. This is a crucial aspect of interface design that we should never overlook. Imagine a world where every door handle, every light switch, and every button on a device was designed with only one type of user in mind. It's a world that lacks inclusivity, isn't it? The same applies to our digital interfaces. We must design them to be usable by people with a wide range of abilities. Screen readers, for instance, are essential tools for visually impaired users. These tools read out loud the text displayed on the screen, allowing users to interact with the interface without needing to see it. Keyboard navigation is another critical aspect of accessibility, as it enables users who cannot use a mouse to navigate through the interface. Considerations for color contrast and text readability are also vital. They ensure that our interface is easy to read and understand, even for users with colorblindness or other visual impairments. Now that we have an accessible interface, we need to ensure it works well across different devices. Responsive design is about providing a consistent user experience across devices. It's a crucial aspect of interface design, ensuring that our interface adapts and responds to different devices and screen sizes. Whether it's a desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone, responsive design makes sure the interface looks and feels just right. Imagine you're designing a puzzle, but this isn't any ordinary puzzle. This puzzle has to fit perfectly in different shaped boxes. That's what responsive design is all about. We achieve responsive design by designing flexible layouts that can expand or contract depending on the screen size. We also use fluid grids that can rearrange and resize themselves as needed. And we use scalable images that can scale up or down without losing their quality. These techniques allow us to create an interface that feels tailor-made for every device, providing a seamless and consistent user experience. Finally, we need to test our interface to ensure it meets user needs and expectations. Usability testing is the final step in the interface design process. It's the moment where all the previous stages of design come together, and we get to see how real users interact with our creation. It's like the dress rehearsal before the big show, where we can identify any last-minute tweaks that need to be made. The process of usability testing involves bringing in real users. These could be people from our target audience or individuals who represent them. We ask these users to perform specific tasks on our interface, and we observe. We watch for where they encounter difficulties, where they hesitate, or where they make errors. This gives us invaluable insights into any usability issues that might be lurking in our design. But usability testing isn't just about finding problems. It's also about gathering feedback. We listen to what our users have to say about their experience, their likes and dislikes, their suggestions. This feedback is a goldmine of information that can help us make our interface better, more intuitive, and more user-friendly. Usability testing is also where we validate our design decisions. Remember all those user personas we created, the scenarios we defined, the pathways we mapped out. Now's the time to see if they hold up in real-world conditions. If our users can navigate our interface easily and complete their tasks efficiently, then we know we've done our job well. But here's the thing about usability testing. It's not a one-and-done deal. It's an iterative process, just like the rest of interface design. We test, we gather feedback, we make improvements, and then we test again. This cycle of testing and improvement is what helps us fine-tune our design, making it the best it can be. In essence, usability testing is about putting our users first. It's about making sure that our interface doesn't just look good, but that it works well too. It's about creating an interface that is not just visually appealing, but also easy to use, intuitive, and efficient. With usability testing, we can ensure that our interface is not only beautiful and engaging, but also user-friendly and efficient. So that was a lot to take in, wasn't it? Let's quickly recap the key points. We dove into the world of interface design, beginning with user-centered design, where understanding the needs, preferences, and behaviors of users is paramount. This leads us to information architecture, the backbone of content structure and organization within the interface. Then we touched on visual design, which brings aesthetics into play, focusing on layout, typography, color schemes, and imagery. We also discussed interaction design, defining how users interact with the interface through navigation, input methods, and feedback mechanisms. Accessibility came next, ensuring interfaces are usable by everyone, regardless of ability. We then covered responsive design, which makes interfaces adaptable across various devices and screen sizes. Lastly, we explored usability testing, which involves evaluating interfaces with real users to ensure they meet user needs and expectations. Remember, good interface design is about creating an intuitive, user-friendly, and visually appealing experience for all users. Happy designing!